Okay. Welcome for everyone. I am here with Victor, the one and only. You must know Victor because I think you are a member of Tudors if you are watching this. Of course, there can be other people watching as well, but this is mostly directed to members of the Tudors, workers, employees of the Tudors company. So, warmly welcome. Here I am with Victor, and we will be talking about communication at the workplace. How do you feel about this topic, Victor? I didn't even tell you about it beforehand. Victor has not prepared. I have prepared a little bit of a structure for us and mostly mindset preparing. But how do you feel, Victor, about this topic of communication at the workplace for our conversation?
Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, like you said, there wasn't really any preparation on my side, which has its disadvantages because, like, my sentences might not be very constructed, but at the same time, I feel like that it has its good parts because it would actually be authentic and very reliable. So, about communication in the workplace, I think it's basically the backbone of any work environment because like without communication, no matter how skilled or professional you think your co-workers or employees are, things just can never work out because I mean a workplace without communication is basically like a car without an engine or like a human body without the brain. So I think that's what I'll say. It's a very, very good topic because communication is basically the heart or the brain of a workplace.
Okay. I thought about zoo as you were talking, that it could also be like a zoo for all the employees if there was no communication. Everyone would be like kind of in a zoo
Yeah,
without cages, just animals running around.
exactly, exactly.
I want to start with a warm-up question though. What helps you to relax when you are not working?
When I'm not working, so I believe you mean like maybe during weekends or maybe after work hours.
Yeah, yeah, both.
Okay. Okay, so I spend a lot of time with my dog. Like he's actually like right behind my computer right now, staring at me, waiting for the meeting to end. And there's my dog, and there's a basketball, like you probably know.
Yep.
There's working out at the gym. There's maybe it might be a little bit confusing that a lot of the things I used to relax are very physical stuff, but yeah, that's just me. I'm into like athletics and things like that. So mostly just
Yeah.
getting my body moving, walking my dog, playing basketball, going out for a run, even like in driving at like moderate speed on the expressway. That also helps me relax, so to speak.
What is moderate for you?
Uh, I'd rather not say.
Okay, maybe we can move on to talking about communication. So your dog will be back with you one day. We don't talk about this forever. So could you tell us what is your current position with tutors? What do you do?
Yeah, so I first started out as an intern. I don't think you're aware of that, but yeah, I first started out as an intern.
Oh,
So after that, I basically I guess things went really, really well, and Philip liked me as a person because I don't think it had a lot to do with skills, so to speak. I think communication also had a lot to do with that. And I also really, really, really loved the working environment. It was something I've never seen before. It made work feel more like a lifestyle than actual work. So after my internship, me and Felix had a couple of agreements, and I first started out as a software developer. I started writing code for Negu AI and tutors, and from there, it kind of slowly started shifting more and more into administrative work. So things like handling interviews for the interns, handling the onboarding, handling the task provisions, and basically monitoring the whole quality of the tutors as a product, and also evaluating interns after the end of their internship. So now I do still write some code for some tutors projects, but I mostly just help with, let's say, assisting students in debugging their code and providing them tasks, monitoring their progress, and a whole lot of admin work, basically.
Hmm. Okay. Wow. So you fell in love with the work environment and then you started to be a big part of creating that environment for others as well.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a very cool story. And how does it feel for you right now? Are you still in love with the environment?
I mean, I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say that I would really love to work there forever. It's a very, very awesome work environment. Like I said, unlike anything I've ever seen before. So the community, the is just it's heavenly over here.
Wow. Well, that's a very uh positive description indeed.
Yeah.
Heavenly environment.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think that would be an overstatement.
So you do a lot of admin work, and do you have like your own like closest team, or do you kind of like work with everyone?
I think my case would be a little different from most other employees because most others are a little bit niche, so they have their respective areas of work. But like, I think in my case, I basically work with everyone affiliated with tutors.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. And how? Of course, you don't want to speak about too personal stuff, but how do you feel right now that the communication with each other is going for you and with your coworkers?
Yeah, I mean it's almost perfect, I would say, because like I said, communication is very, very, very big factor here in tutors. So I communicate with basically almost everyone every day. So for my coworkers, I don't believe a day goes by that I don't communicate with like every single one of them. For the interns, I mean, right now we have like close to 50, if not more, active interns, and I do keep in touch with like basically almost all of them every day. But like I said, it's very, very difficult to keep in touch with every single one. But like still, I try to like keep in touch with at least as many of them as reach out to me in a day. I'll make sure to give them attention and help out with what they're going through. And also, I might remember that, oh, I haven't heard from this intern or that intern for a while, and I will also reach out to them and know how things are going. So yeah, communication is very, very strong.
And has it been for like that for some time, or has it changed lately in some way?
It has always been like that. Like, communication has always been a very, very strong factor from day one.
Oh, well, okay. Well, what kind of changes do you see that has happened over time? How long have you been working with tutors?
I would say it's about uh a year and a couple of months, like a year and 3 months now, or a year and four
Oh,
months. Yeah,
and
because
how long was your internship?
my internship started in December 2024 up until March. of 2025.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So one year as a employee, like a paid
Oh
employee.
yeah, 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 exactly 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah. And how has it how has your role changed during that 1 year?
Yeah, like I said, that there's been a lot of evolution and a whole lot of adaptation. So I started off as a purely technical person. I basically was very, very uh, I wouldn't say bad at communication, but like I was kind of secluded because I was used to like just doing a lot of work myself, and you just assign me a task, I do the task, push it to GitHub, and that's the end of it. So that's how I was. But over time, I've seen. Sorry, my dog is asking for attention as usual. Maybe
Oh.
so. Over time, I've been fortunate enough to evolve a lot through the role and take on a leadership role, basically. So um, from just being a programmer, I've moved on to being an executive assistant to Phyllis and also a project manager for multiple projects, lead developer for some projects, and also a supervisor for intern.
Mm, mm. And do you feel like you have learned a lot about how you stay in contact with other tutors within that 1 year?
Yeah, for sure. I'll say, yeah, definitely. I've figured out a lot more about communication and keeping in touch with both the employees and also lecturers. Because as the teachers, I also spend a lot of time communicating with the teachers of each of the interns. So that has also taught me a lot.
What kind of topics do you talk about with the interns? Is it mainly about work or also about their personal life?
Yeah, with the interns, it's mostly about work and how the tasks are going, if they need any help or assistance. Because I try my best to convince them to like communicate problem early on. I mean, like you should definitely try to figure it out on your own, but like instead of wasting a lot of time before asking for help, you should just try check some online resources, and if you're still unable to
Mm,
figure it out yourself, just try to reach out as soon as possible. But then again, there is a couple of exceptions for the like for the um conversations basically because I would say I'm friends with a couple of the interns, although a lot of them have already like ended their internship, like they completed their internship. But those ones right now we mostly talk about personal stuff. But I'll say majority of the time it's just purely work-based conversation.
mm.
Yeah, but even the ones that are still interns with us, we try our best not to mix work stuff with personal stuff. So we have other communication channels outside of Teams where we talk about personal stuff, but then Teams is purely for work related things.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. I think what you said about um, telling telling the interns that they should ask for help instead of using all their energy to try to like force it by
Mm.
themselves, something that they are not yet so skilled at. That's very very important. I really appreciate you doing that work.
Mm. Thanks for that, because I do that out of experience. Because when I first started learning programming, the tutor I had basically would just tell me what to do and not do anything else. So I just had to figure things out myself, I guess. So yeah,
Yes, I can also talk from experience that it can be very hard to try to figure out everything by yourself, and it's very much not needed if you have someone who can give you a hand on that way. So very very good, Victor, that you are doing this.
yeah. Thank you.
I have one last question about communication for you. What
Mhm.
what would you like in your current like work? What would you like to stay? What would you like to keep with you in the future? Like what is something that's so precious to you that you wanna keep on doing it so much?
Um, I will say, working with students, because it makes me to be able to like be the tutor that I've always wanted to have, if that makes any sense. Because like growing up, all the tutors I've ever had were like really, really like I would say 95% strict and like 5% nice. So I always want to keep that balance of 50-50 and just be the tutor that I've always wanted to have basically. So working with students is something I feel like I've grown to be very passionate about.
Thank you, Victor, for sharing all this. I think it's very inspiring for many people. For me, definitely, I feel inspired by you, and I'm very grateful that I can be here with you talking today.
Same here, same here. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please show some love for Victor in the comments. And I hope we will have in future another Tudors members who are brave enough to come here to be interviewed and share their own journey with communication in the workplace, and just whatever feels important for you, you can come here to this podcast and share it with others. This can be a great place for us to get to know each other better. And thank you, Victor, for putting yourself out there, expressing yourself, telling us about your story.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I look forward to seeing you, Victor, as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Thanks a lot for this. It
Yeah.
was great talking to
Do
you.
huh?
Sorry, you were saying something?
Well, do you have any final words for the viewers, or are you ready to stop the recording?
Um, I guess I can just say I wish you had I wish you had told me I would have to give like a conclusion beforehand. I would have prepared something, but like from the top of my head, I'll just say especially considering the fact that it's going to be mostly students watching this, I'll say uh in the future technical skills won't be all you need to get yourself a job. I think your attitude, your communication, especially things like that, is going to be what would help you keep the job. Let me rephrase. Your technical skills might help you get the job, but your attitude and your communication skills, it's what would help you keep the job. So it's very important not to overlook communication as a skill. I think it's something that can be learned. You don't have to be born with extraordinary communication skills. It's something you can learn. It's something you can pick up along the line. So I urge everyone to endeavor to pick up communication skills if you don't currently have them. So that's basically all I can say right now.
Yeah, very much. I agree on that. That's a good way to end this podcast. And let's stay in touch, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Nico.